Chapter 6, The Other Side. You pass through a portal to the Shadow Realm, but you're trapped in a muddy lake and under attack. The creature's grip on your ankle tightens, its dagger-like claws sticking in. You thrash, trying to break free, but all you can succeed in doing is losing some of the precious air in your lungs. In your head, you can hear the voices of your friends through the telepathic link Nia set up. What are these things? Whatever they are, their goddamn teeth are sharp. The creature holding your ankle lets go, only to seize you around the waist, jaw stretched wide as it goes to bite your shoulder. Break its grasp, flail wildly, poke it in its eye. Forcing yourself to ignore the burning lungs, you jab your fingers directly into one of the creature's sickly-looking eyes. How's that feel? The creature reels back, and you kick towards the surface. You break through the water and suck in a desperate breath. Thank the light air. Unfortunately, one breath is all you get before you're dragged back down to the muddy depths. We have to get out of here! Head for the shoal. And which direction is the shore? The more you all struggle, the murkier the water grows, and soon you can't even see your companions. We just need to pick a direction and go. You peer through the muck, frantically trying to orient yourself in the dark, dreadful water. Only for another creature to come darting out of the weeds right in front of you. Hit it with my staff. You draw the staff of Silver Lake, which begins to glow the moment your fingers close around it. Whoa. The monster hisses in fear, shrinking back from the eerie light. Taking advantage of its distraction, you slam the staff into its face. The blow isn't particularly hard, but it's enough to shove the creature away. You swim frantically ahead, only for another creature to slam into your side. Your friends scream in your mind, but you can barely see, just feeling the carnivorous of chaos all around you. Look for a gap in the horde. You squint as the world shifts, and there, in the gloom, you see a face between the squirming, clawing creatures. Oh, hello, Nia. How are you? Nia? But the strange vision is gone just as soon as you see her, the creature surrounding you. There are too many. We can't beat them. You search around wildly, but everywhere you look, another monster waits, fear choked you, burning in your chest as much as you need for air. We have to find the light. We have to... You kick out, going for the surface again, but the creature's already crowding in above you with waiting jaws. You struggle to move away, limbs as heavy as lead, and you can't tell if the darkness is your vision fading or the monster's descending on you. This can't be it. As if in an answer to your prayer, a strange light twinkles faintly above your heads, closer and closer, until a glowing vine comes crashing into the water, shining so brightly that your companions become silhouettes around you. All of the creatures recoil, hissing as if in pain. Desperately, you reach out, both hands clamping around the vine. Grab on, everyone. Just as you've all grabbed hold, the vine pulls back rapidly, dragging you all to the surface. Air floods your aching lungs as the vine whisks you all to the shore, where you collapse against the lake bed. Panting, you scan your surroundings to find yourself in a magnificent forest filled with magic and beauty. Look at this place. It's full of light. And there are no mud monsters. It has air, that's all I care about. For once, I'm with the thief. You turn your head to look at the forest and catch sight of strange creatures with big eyes that seem to blend into the woods around it. Oh, they're little forest nymphs, I believe is what they call them. You raise a hand in greeting, but the creatures vanish silently into the woods. Hey, thank you. You're welcome? No, not you. I mean, also you, but there was someone in the woods. I think they're the ones who saved us. Then why didn't they stick around? Maybe they're scared of us. We are pretty scary. As you all settle in on the soft grass next to the lake to catch your breath, you realize someone is missing. Has anyone seen Nia? She made it out of the lake, right? Nia! Wait. He grabs him toward his arm before she can charge back in the lake, then points to Nia's bag, resting on the lakeshore a few feet away. Footprints tromp through the muddy earth and the soft grass disappearing into the edge of the tree line. You guys get your bearings, I'll find her. You trace the footsteps into the forest and through the dense undergrowth, following the broken twigs and displaced leaves. You finally spot Nia crouched in the shadow of an ancient tree, facing away from you. She doesn't seem to notice as you approach. Nia, we were... She whirls around at the sound of your voice, and you reel back in surprise. Go away, Rain! It's just like when the Dreadlord possessed her. Get out of my friend before I force you out again. Rain, it's me. Like hell's it is. You reach for your weapon and her eyes go wide. Wait, just let me show you. She closes her eyes. You can see the tremendous effort it takes for her to focus, but between one heartbeat and the next, it's as if the shadow seeps from her. Color returns to her face and hair, and the ice in her gaze turns to a soft, warm sheen of tears. I'm sorry, I didn't want you to see me like this. Please don't tell anyone, please, Rain. Nia, is this what's been bothering you? I knew you were worried about something, but I had no idea. She refuses to look at you for a moment, and then her face twists with anger. I've been dealing with it alone. I must deal with it alone. This is my problem, Rain. My fault. I seriously doubt that, Nia. Can you at least tell me what's happening? Maybe if I understood. I'm not sure. I've transformed a few times since you've been gone. Never for very long, and I'm still in control of myself when I do. I wonder if the Dreadlord wounded you in some way. That lore tablet you lent me said the light can heal physical and mental wounds, so it stands to reason that Shadow, the opposite, could inflict those types of wounds. Then why do I keep changing like this? It's been a year. Any damage should have healed by now. We don't know how deep the wounds he might have left have been. You might just need more time. But maybe we should ask someone. Please, Rain. I'll beg you if you must. I can deal with this by myself. I must. You don't have to beg. This is your secret, and if you don't want me to share it, I won't. Just promise me you'll be careful. I can't do this without you. Really? You reach out to touch her cheek gently, brushing a wisp of hair back from her face. You always see the good in the world. I don't think you know how precious that is. Your heart guides us all. And that will never change, no matter what you look like. Thank you, Rain. The bushes behind you rustle and you leap in front of Nia, hand going to your weapon, but instead of another monster, a small feline creature comes hobbling out. I want to pet you. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh no, it's hurt. Give it to me. Looks like one of those Maine Coon cats. I just want to love it. As it spots you, the creature lets out a frightened cry and dives back into the bushes, shaking them violently as it limps away. Hang on a moment. That was a cricken. Whatin? A cricken. They've long been thought extinct, but that must be only in the light realm. We should go after it so I can heal its injury. See? You're all heart. Sometimes I'm also selfish. Doing light magic always helps me calm down when I'm stressed. It makes me feel useful. And if you wanted, I could show you how to heal. You've got a natural aptitude for magic. I'm sure you'd pick it up easily. Elite skill, Diamond Joys. By the way, this is the only time you can learn the skill. I'm in. Let's go. Wonderful. I think it went this way. It has already tracked the small limping creature, and you quickly catch up to it. The creature ducks down, trying to make itself as small as possible, and winces as it sets one of its paws on the ground, a large gash marring its feathers. Oh, look at the poor thing. It must have fallen out of a tree and hurt its leg. Or it barely got away from a predator. That would make sense. Crickens are incredibly intelligent and known for their agility in the air. At the height of the Elven Empire, circuses would train the whole flocks of cricken to fly together in dazzling formations. Seems like you know a lot more about them. There wasn't much to do at the temple. I always loved reading, so I'd go through books I could get my hands on. Though no illustration could fully capture this cute little face. So, what were the wild ones like? Circuses are one thing, but out here I doubt they act the same. From what I read, they live in treetops, sleeping and gliding from branch to branch, like flying squirrels. They're generally solitary creatures until mating season, when a group of them will all stay together to raise and protect their young. I'm a bit more worried about what they eat. Don't be silly, Rain. They're far too small to prey on people. They prefer to eat berries and bugs. You lean closer to get a better look at its leg. The cricken startles, backing away. Here, let me try. She kneels down, keeping her distance from the cricken as she holds out a small morsel of dried fish. Anchovies, really? I thought you hated those. Oh, I do, but they can be very handy in the right circumstances. Like feeding a cranky Nesper back home? Exactly. I heard you through time and space, and I'm pissed off. Now give me my anchovy. I just had to. Sure enough, the cricken sniffs at the piece of fish and creeps closer and nibbles at it. There you go. That's it. I guess I shouldn't be surprised you're so good with animals. I haven't always been, you know. A stray cat once chased me all over the temple grounds when I was 6. I climbed a tree to escape it and got stuck up there until Scholar Vash came to my rescue. That's both hilarious and adorable. I have learned that dealing with animals is like dealing with children. You have to have a gentle hand. Oh, no, honey. Children are worse. Animals are amazing. I think you have a special touch. Your kindness shines through, you know, like the light itself. Her cheeks turn pink, but her lips curve into an appreciative smile. I'm glad. As the cricken swallows the last bit of its fish, she gently strokes her fingers down its back, and she beckons for you to join her. Watch. She places her hand over the injured leg. I always imagine sewing when I'm doing this type of magic. Sewing? Healing is a kind of mending, after all, and light magic requires the same type of focus as crafts of that sort. I think of stitching tiny pieces until the whole thing comes together, and then I've healed the wound. Her hands begin to glow. She catches her eyes, and you watch as the gash slowly knits itself together before closing completely. There. All better. The cricken nuzzles happily under her palm, drawing a delighted laugh from her, and then it eyes you curiously. Rub under its chin. Gingerly, you reach under the cricken's chin and rub the short, soft feathers there. The creature ruffles the rest of its feathers, then makes a low, purring noise. I think I'm in love. Suddenly it leaps impossibly high, landing on a low branch of a tree. Then it leaps again, disappearing into the canopy above. This place is incredible. I can't believe we're in the Shadow Realm. It's the Deadwood, as it's meant to be. Perhaps when we close the rift, we can restore it. You nod happily, but then you notice a long gash along her arm, still sticky with blood. Nia, you're hurt. It's nothing, really, just a scratch from one of those mud creatures. I barely can feel anything when I'm in shadow. She runs her hand along the scratch and looks up at you sheepishly. Want to try healing it? Really, but what if I mess it up? What, are you going to stitch her mouth shut? Like, come on. I trust you, Rain, so you need only trust yourself. She lays her arm in your outstretched hands. Just remember, it will always be easier to heal someone else rather than yourself. You're a conduit, and the light moves through you. But in doing so, it takes a bit of your light as well. So trying to heal myself would be harder because I'd be draining my own life force at the same time. Essentially, yes. That's why I usually try to focus on healing the rest of you. I'm sure that's not the only reason, and you're not a completely selfless person or anything. You place your hand over her wound and recall the way she healed the cricken, its wound stitching back together. I'll focus on mending the cut. You close your eyes and concentrate on the warmth of her skin, on the flesh being made whole, and on the power of light moving through you like a river, washing the two of you clean in one smooth rush of glowing water. Almost. As the light from your hand subsides, you watch as Nia's cut knits back together, leaving no trace of the injury. That was perfect. I'm so proud of you. You laugh as she pulls you into a tight hug. Nia, thank you. Can I get a kiss for my efforts? Her gaze softens and she touches your cheek. That sounds only fair. You can taste the salt of her tears on her lips, but the golden warmth of her melts it away like the summer rain. Each caress makes the warmth inside of you grow until you both come up panting for air. Her eyes dart to the ground, ever shy. At first, when you were gone, I prayed every night for you to return, to Alara and Nefara, and even to the nameless Mother of Grey. But then I realized it was your light I was relying on, Rain. I knew I could believe in you. I was so sure that once you were here, I'd have a better handle on the shadow. I've imagined you coming home for so long. You place one finger under her chin and draw her gaze back to you. And how is it living up to expectations? She squeezes you tight as she lets out a low, breathy sigh of pleasure, catching your lips again. And for a moment, the fear and adrenaline still lingering below the surface fades away, leaving only Nia's glow. As always, you exceed all hopes and dreams. Now that's what I like to hear. You allow yourself one more long kiss to remind yourself of the past, present, and future you know you're going to build together. We'd better head back before the others think we got eaten or something. As you start down the path, you nudge Nia with your elbow. How are you feeling now? Much better. Thank you. It's comforting to know that even if some things have been lost in the light realm, it doesn't mean they're gone completely. And that we can still make a difference. Maybe the Deadwood won't be dead much longer. A lead skill. Looks like we can get 4 of them. We have 1 of 4. You and Nia return to the lakeshore where the others are still waiting. There you are. Finally. It's not as if we've been waiting for you or anything. Aaron, stop talking. Ryan. Is everything okay? Everything's fine. Shall we press on? Press on. If the rift is here, why don't we just seal it and be done with it? It would be most expedient course of action. But not necessarily the best. The Watcher told me there are people here who can help us and who need our help. Besides, I'm not sure I want to tangle with those creatures in the lake again so soon. Okay, so where do we find... Suddenly Tyrrell holds up a hand, gesturing for everyone to be silent. We're being watched. You look around, squinting in the dappling sunlight that filters through the ancient trees. Slowly, you begin to see them. Pieces of the forest itself seem to coalesce into elf-like shapes, becoming clear as they approach. Soon a handful of wry figures stand before you, watching warily with huge, shimmering eyes. Hi. Hello there, strangers. Hey. Are you the ones who rescued us? The glowing vine arrived just in time. We were in pretty rough shape. The beasts of mud eat more than their share. They must learn the way of the balance. The head creature steps forward, looking like they're almost staring past you. The trees above them seem to shift to give them space. I am called Willow. I will help guide our people in the care of Whimsy Wood. The Whimsy Wood? Really? Someone want to explain why that's a big deal? It's what the Deadwood was called before the war. before the Shadow Court was banished. You speak of a time long past, for this has been our home for some years, far more than I could ever count. Only few of we goblins remember it. I'm sorry, you're calling yourself goblins? You really do not look like the atypical goblin. It's nice to meet you, Willow. I'm Rain, and these are my friends. I'm Tora, Tyrrell, Nia, and Mal. And this is Aaron. I don't rate as a friend. I'm wounded. Keep not betraying us, and maybe someday you'll get to upgrade to acquaintance. Willow smiles at all of you, their gaze still far off, and then inclines their head. I would have shared the words with you at the lake, but those who come here are so armed, have brought much harm in the past. I imagine so. This is the Shadow Realm, after all. You come from the realm of light? We do. A fortuitous meeting. There is much to speak of. But not so near the creatures of mud, lest they hunger again. Our village is but a stone cast away, if you will come. You glance at your companions. Nia smiles tentatively. The Watcher did say we might find people who need our help. This must be what he meant. And they did save us from those lake monsters, though I'd keep my guard up if I were you. I'm confused. What's going on with the pictures? Willow has joined the party. Ah, she sits in the tree. Ah. Follow Willow and their companions back to the village, which is so thoroughly melded into the forest, it's hard to tell where the woods end and the dwellings begin. That's pretty badass. This is incredible. For a place on land, it's definitely got charm. Homes are built high in the boughs of trees or nestled safely under the roots, and ancient logs form a fire pit made of smooth stone. They lead you across the clearing to the outside of a home built into one of the trees. You all settle down in a loose circle around the fire. Welcome to the place we call home, where we reside with the bees and the trees and many other plant and animal. But you have come not to rest in our shade. What burden weighs you down your boughs? Well, while we're saving the world, there are some really terrible people trying to cross over into the light realm so they can conquer everything. And we need you to help us stop them. You ask us to fight as you do, as others once did? No, not at all. There are rifts between the realms, places where the barrier has worn thin. Now shadow and light magic are seeping into the wrong places. Yes, tangled up like the roots in a crowded glen. But the surprise quickly falls from Willow's face, replaced with a hardened resolve. We may not be creatures of war, but if it is aid you need, we will provide. I have a special kind of power that lets me create portals and travel between realms. We came here to close one of the rifts they want to exploit. Unfortunately, it's at the bottom of the lake you saved us from, the one full of monsters. So is there any chance of you helping us with that, or? The light nourishes all it touches. Without it, all will wither and decay. But as you passed from realm to realm, we may yet find agreement. Willow raises a hand, and several goblins hurry to their side. Entreat the creatures of mud and their water to leave the lake on behalf of our light-dwelling friends. It shall be so. Tora leans in to whisper in your ear. Well, that was almost suspiciously fast. Some people are just helpful, Tora. As Willow issues further instructions, you notice an outfit draped over a chair, woven from leaves, vines, flowers. The whole thing seems to hum with magical energy. That gem, it's glowing just like the vine Willow used to rescue us. Willow glances back to you, and their eyes widen in surprise as they fall on the staff slung across your back. Your staff, is it of the Silver Lake tree? You know what this is? Made by our people long ago, but lost when the elves clashed with Shadow. The woman who gave it to me said it belonged to the Fae. Goblins, Fae, but two names for the same thing, like blossom and flower. I thought the Fae all died during the Great War. There was much loss, yes. We are all that remain. That's so sad. If the staff belongs to your people, do you want it back? I would as much ask a leaf to ignore the wind. It sought you out, and so with you it shall stay. And see how the fruits of the forest call out to it. You look back to the outfit on the chair, where the leaves and stems seem to bend towards you in greeting, the glowing green stone pulsing in time with your heart. It's beautiful. We speak to the woods, and the woods speak back, though people like you cannot hear. Garments made of their fibers strengthen the song we share, or allow others to hear. You mean you could control plants and trees if you wore this? We do not control, we commune. So the woods would be my friend. They would grant you safety and shelter, embracing you as though you were one of us. They would honor us to shield you from lurking dangers that surely await. Green thumb. Actually looks good. You step into a side room carrying the garments with you. The minute the stone touches your skin, the outfit springs to life. Wow. The soft fabrics envelop you, and flowers and fronds grow impossibly fast, leaving a gentle tickling warmth on your skin. You return to the others and laugh at the wide-eyed looks they give you. The forest welcomes you. Oh, Rain, you look amazing. Like a fierce warrior of the woods. Those are some lucky, very lucky flowers. I'll say, looking good, Rain. Do you have a comment, Your Highness? I'm just surprised you do clean up well, don't you? Thank you, I think. Look, I even have a crown. Willow, you said something about finding a way to agree with us, but what is it you want? We wish to return to the realm of light, to bask in its rays once more. The forest has always cared for its children, but a tree cannot stand against swords and axes. Rage twists their features. Those who wander with hate in their hearts pluck us from our home like petals from a flower. The Empire of Ash will not cease until all light is blotted out. The Ash Empire are the ones we're trying to stop. But why are they after you? Could they know about the rift? How could they know what even we did not? Then why? It's not like you're a threat to them. You seem very peaceful. They wish the shadow to take root here, so they can bend us to their will. That does sound like them. It is as if there was in the eons before, caught between fires of strife. They're just like the Shadow Corps, trying to punish you for not taking a side in their war. Though your words seem to weigh on Willow, a small smile comes to their lips. Our story remains, there is comfort in that. We would never forget it, ever. Willow eyes Tyrrell. It is good the elves know the part they played. It is the folly to forget the path you have tread. But the Empire of Ash burns all it touches, cares not what it lost in the blaze. They are the worst kind of bullies. I hate bullies. You joined the bullies at one point, shut up. We'll do anything we can to help while we reign. Yes. You show great empathy for us, Aaron. I thank you. I guess it's good he can show it for someone. And for once, I agree with him. We should help. If you're sure that the Light Realm is where your people belong, then we will do what we can to return you there. Our history is clouded. Pieces are lost with every life taken. Stories need storytellers to remember to share, but it is the light we belong. Then we will return you to the light. It is a shame we've lost so much. I wish we could hear some of your stories. Not all is lost if we share with you our memories endures, but you must also share a piece of yourself, a glimpse into the realm of light, no doubt changed in the time past. Oh, I can tell you a good story. Or 3. Don't listen to the rest of this lot. Don't listen to this one. Hers all in the same way. Falling down drunk, getting kicked out of wherever she was. That's what makes them so good. I bet I can tell a better one. Loser buys drinks at the next tavern. That's a dangerous wager. I'm sure they're interested in far more important issues like the kingdom as a whole, and all the wonderful things in it. Swap stories with the goblins to learn their history, see their magic, and hear some fantastical tales from your own party. Sounds like fun. It's an interesting spin on goblins, I will say that. Just saying. Willow leads you to the other side of the village where a trio of goblins have gathered. Tansy, Laurel, Ash, our light-dwelling friends wish to hear our stories. Guess you're pretty fond of tree name. Tyrrell elbows him roughly in the side. From the realm of light, I've never met such folk. You are all the first Fae we've met as well. The elder goblin doesn't speak, but they watch your group closely. The Pearl Petal Tree wishes for our song. If you come with us, can be much sharing. Sounds like fun. Aaron approaches tentatively, smiling at the goblins. Do you mind if I join you? All are welcome. Setting off into the forest with Willow and the other goblins, you perform your own introductions, following them until you come to a clearing with a massive tree in the center. It's beautiful. Beautiful, yes, but weighed down by their fruits. Our song shall lift them up. Goblins sit beneath the tree and begin to hum and chant, their tones harmonizing perfectly. I'll hum along. As you pick up the melody, you join your voice with the goblins. Opalescent petals cascade down from above, swirling around you in a pattern that seems almost like a dance. Whoa. The more voices join, the stronger we are. Small purple fruits begin to tumble down from the branches, landing softly in the grass. Please try, as a thanks for your voice. For a minute there, it looked like an eye, but I see it. As you bite into the juicy fruit, flavor bursts across your tongue, floral and sweet. It's damn good is what it is. Perfectly ripe, for the trees share only the ready fruit. You all start to gather the fruit, placing them in baskets that the goblins brought along. As you work, Willow speaks up. Food is shared freely here, but stories are only given in return for stories. We all must learn and remember. So what would you know of us? Tell us more about your culture. We care for the forest. And the forest cares for us. Food, shelter, materials for clothes, and tools are all given. You mean you don't have to grow food or spin cloth? We've no need. The forest provides. Same as the ocean provides for us orcs. I've done a fair amount of foraging in my day, but I've never had it drop into my hands like this. Perhaps the tree merely didn't understand you. Oh, the parties. Such wonderful parties. Yet we've no cause to celebrate as of late, not with the shadow lurking so close. Stories of your parties have become legend in our world. What were they really like, though? That was long before I sprouted, but I heard the tales from my elders. The older goblin smiled softly, remembering. They spoke of intricate fashion, delectable foods, wine that tasted of light. None knew how long a party was to last, so they made magical candles that floated above the revelries. Then they burned. The celebration continued. I believe some went on for over a fortnight. I think I finally found my people drinking wine for weeks. Can you imagine? Not sure the hangover would be worth it, though. Ah, but it is time to wake the nightingale blooms. Laurel leaps to their feet, beckoning you all to join them as they approach the trunk of the tree, a thick vine curled around it. A gentle touch, for they spook easily. They lean down and nuzzle their nose against the closed blossom, and a moment later its petals fall open. You turn to the next bud. Time to wake up, little one. You stroke your fingers along the side of the petals, and gradually the flower opens, revealing a brilliant light inside. That is pretty. Why do you have to wake up the flowers? She trails off as more and more of the flowers bloom at your touch, filling the air with their glow. Light magic, that's what keeps the woods alive. Indeed, all working in harmony to survive. But I don't understand. How did you wind up trapped in the Shadow Realm in the first place? At the final battle, the elves gave everything to defeat the Shadow Court. One cannot control the falling of a tree. Such power is the same. They rid the realm of light of the Dreadlord, but they sent us and many of the creatures here through with him. That's terrifying. You could have been killed. Many were. It was from them the Whimsy wood grew, and all that were left banded together. The rift you spoke of, it gifted us the light we needed to persevere. The light never abandoned its children. Well said, Tyrrell. Tansy claps their hands together. Now tell us of the realm of light. I wish to know everything. Imtora, weren't you boasting about having the best stories? Damn right I do. A pirate's life is fraught with danger. Yeah, it's called other pirates. No, that's not what you've got to watch out for. It's the sea herself. In the realm of light, truly so fraught with danger? No, not all at all. Most people are just busy going about their business, living their lives. Poor bastards. There are large cities, smaller towns, roads that connect them all for travel and commerce, but any of these places can be dangerous. Danger is not that common. Before all this mess with the rifts and realm walking and Shadow Court, I lived a very quiet life in a tiny village called Riverbend. The most excitement we ever saw was when Nia and Mal came to town. I suppose some people do get to enjoy the peace. Tell us more of that place, where the river bends. Your chest tightens even as the warmth of the memory fills you. There wasn't much to it, but every year at harvest time, the tavern sponsored a contest, free ale for a year. All you had to do was catch a greased piglet. That's impossible. They're too slippery. Why do you know this? Please don't ask. No one had ever won that free ale, but my brother Cade was determined to do it. So he decided to secretly replace the grease with glue. No. Not only did he glue himself to the pig, he was barred from entering the contest for life. We must have a contest like that once we return to the realm of light. We shall see who can best convince the piglet to stay. That is not how that is supposed to work. Hey, it would be way less messy. It will be nice to return to our old lands. Then we'd better head back till we can get to work. Yet there remains time enough for one more story as we walk. You all start through the forest, and you look around at your companions. How about it, Nia? Tyrrell, Tora, Mal. I'm sure Tyrrell's been around long enough for many stories. Anyway, speaking of the roads around Morella, I did once scare a group of bandits out of their thieving ways. How did you do that? I used my magic to make them think the local woods were haunted. Just a little blue flyer and some spooky whispers, but it worked. I don't think some of them have ever stopped running, even now. Work smarter, not harder. I approve. As you step back into the village, Willow places their hand on your shoulder. Much thanks for your stories. Long has it been since we had new ones to share. I'm sure there will be plenty more to talk about after today. We have time yet. Even flowers must close at night to rest. The goblins offer drinks, and as you head back to the group, you notice Aaron hovering back. With a sigh, you head in his direction. You seem pretty protective of the goblins, considering we've only known them for about an hour. Yeah, well, I can relate to them, I suppose. I know what it's like to be trapped somewhere you don't quite belong, tormented by those more powerful than you are. Is that what your life in the palace felt like? That's what my life in the palace was. Why do you think I took such drastic measures? I suppose it wasn't mere boredom? No, though I have been known to go to impressive lengths to avoid that as well. But I want to help these people, right? Even if you didn't, I might have been tempted to stay here and try and find my own way to do so. Showing sympathy for someone other than yourself. That's encouraging. Indeed. So have I won your trust? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I would not dare. But it is nice to see that you're willing to sacrifice yourself for someone else. Sacrifice? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Suddenly the sound of a horn echoes through the camp. What is... The marauders, they've returned! No more harm will be dealt by their hands. Blue darts into the woods and you look around with the rest of your companions. We've got to back them up. You and your friends rush after them, stumbling through the low-lying branches and roots that seem to bend out of the way as Willow passes. Make myself intangible, weave through the trees. Intangible. Can't trip if you phase right through everything. Reach for the magic that lets you move between realms, and your body melts into nothingness, letting you slip through the forest like a ghost. You reach for your weapon as you burst free into a clearing in the woods, only to see... Oh, okay. Can I get the first one's number? Is that... the Shadow Court? Listen, can I get the first one's numbers? Listen, don't have me. Anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description. Plenty of links there, things to check out, ways to contribute, and become even more associated and intricate and part of the community, let's be honest. There's things to join, and you can chat with me as well as many other people. It's free, by the way. And a way of sharing things and bunch of stuff. Again, check out the links. Aside from that, I did enjoy this video. I enjoy Blades of Light. Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoyed it, as well as also for the voices and whatnot that I do. That being said, I actually have a question for some of you. So, a while back, I changed my mic, right? It's been like a year ago or something. I'm just curious, for those of you who have stayed around, right? Has there ever been a time that, I don't know, I read better or sounded clear, or I'm always open and wanting to hear you guys' criticisms or thoughts on, you know, how I'm doing or what I'm doing or the whole 9 yards. I do value your opinion, more so than any other creator or person on the face of this planet. So I always... am open to anything you guys have to say, feedback, etc. So it would be greatly appreciated if you would share that. If you think it's like whatever, it's fine, or whatever, hey, I'd like to hear that too. Just asking. Once again, thanks for watching. Love your beautiful faces, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.